Everyone who has millions started from zero, from this to that, from nothing to everything. As a divine healer, let me show you the blueprint to heal your deepest wounds, step into your destiny, and become the happiest person you know. My name is Steph Mahony, and welcome to your Million Dollar Life podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome to your Million Dollar Life podcast. My name is Steph Mahony, and with me today, I have a best-selling author, a certified magnetic coach, an intuitive healer, a Akashic Records practitioner, and a beautiful soul who helps women to awaken to their fullest potential, raise their vibration, and bring the planet up to a vibration into the new 5D paradigm called heaven on earth. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my absolute pleasure to introduce to you today Andrea Kaye, my beautiful soul sister and an incredible being of light who is transforming the world. Andrea, thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome. Thank you, Steph, for the beautiful introduction, and thank you for having me.
It is my pleasure. So, Andrea, first of all, I want to just commend you that not only are you this beautiful being of light, but you're a mother, you're a mamapreneur, you are homeschooling your children, you've given birth to all of your children at home. You're the person who can do it all. And not only that, is that you have a heart and intention and your service to humanity to help people to awaken to their highest potential. So there's so much that I want to talk to you about. And today's topic is activating our highest potential so that we can learn what the steps are to up level our life so that we can begin to live our best life today. Before we begin, I really want to open up the stage to you and ask you to just share your story with us.
Sure. And thank you very much for this opportunity to share my story, because that's where our power is. Our mission is, and our message is in our story and our experience. And so, to kind of put it in a little teeny tiny nutshell, it kind of really started in November 2017 when I joined the online wellness company and got into entrepreneurship and mindset. Before that, I previously knew nothing about mindset. What are these things called limiting beliefs? I don't have any idea. Completely unconscious, I guess you could say, right? Unaware. I got into that, and then about a couple years in, so January 2020, I decided I wanted to become a coach, to have the tools to help more people affordably. So it's been about 4.5 years since then. I set that intention and off I went. And I did all the things, like you said, the Akashic Records, NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, hypnotherapy, time techniques, emotional freedom tapping technique. We did a course together, I believe, with the Alchemy of Integrative Coaching, a master transformational course. And I started studying Joe Dispenza, Bruce Lipton, Greg Braden, got into quantum physics, neuroscience, epigenetics. And lo and behold, that led me to the magnetic mind method, because your mind is a magnet. And kind of, I really didn't understand what I was doing. I just had this massive calling on my heart, and I felt this is my next move. This is what I need to do. This is what I need to do. And I just would take these huge leaps of faith and do these courses, do these programs. And now I have all these amazing tools and so much of my own personal growth, and that I can help others along the way as well. And then most recently, I love to continue my education and continue. We're here to learn, grow, expand, and evolve, right? So I'm also going for my bachelor's at Maharishi International University for consciousness and human potential. So in a
Amazing.
nutshell, now I have all these things to help other people.
That is amazing. So, in your heart, with all of the tools that you have, where is this path taking you? What does that look like for you in the future?
Yeah, so my vision is heaven on earth, like you said. As crazy or absurd that might sound to some people, I believe that we're powerful creators and we get to choose what we create. But like I said, myself, even I was unconscious. We're unaware. We're not taught about our own personal power. We're kind of thrown into these systems where I say we're dumbed down, drugged up, and disempowered, right? And these systems are keeping us suppressed. I believe it's like a war on human consciousness, the manipulation of the human mind, because the powers that be, let's just say, the cabal, the deep state, the Illuminati, the elites, the darkness, whatever you choose to call it on your path, you'll find there's this force that kind of suppresses us, right? Keeps us, like I said, in that dumbed down state, unaware of our power. But we begin to awaken, self-realization, self-discovery, and realize, holy shift, I am that I am. I'm here. I'm creating. And you start this journey and you learn and you keep going. And that's where I'm at. And I've gained so much knowledge and wisdom from my experience that, like I said, I'm ready to just pour it into others.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So when you first started, you were unconscious. And I
Hmm.
talk about this a lot because I was too. We all start there in this place of unconsciousness. But at the same time, we're all master manifestors. We're born manifesting. The law of attraction is always around us. But in
Right.
the last 20 years, it has become a thing.
Hmm.
And everybody wants to know, how do I attract my soulmate? How do I attract money? How do I leave my job and travel the world? Everyone wants God-sized dreams and they attract and they realize none of this is happening and they ended up unconsciously miscreating a life that they don't want and they don't understand why. Why am I like this? Why is it working for other people and it's not working for me? What am I doing wrong? I believe this does work, but it doesn't work for me. And then they just stall. They don't progress in life because they feel like everyone else has it all together and they're stuck. But they can't show they're stuck because of this world of, Instagram and showing this perceived level of happiness. So they have this happy smile, but they're broken inside. And it really plays my heart because I see so many people in this way. So many people reach out to me from this place, and I want to help them transform from unconsciously miscreating a life they don't want to consciously creating a life they love. And that it is possible right now to shift from this to that, from nothing to everything. And this is why I've created my podcast, Your $1,000,000 Life, to show people a pathway that you are meant to live in abundance. You're meant to live the highest time element for destiny, as long as you can awaken and shift and align to your higher purpose. So, Andrea, what I love about us is that we've known each other for a few years, and I absolutely love what you're doing. And you have talked about being a magnetic mind coach, and you've even shared some of the theories with me, and I absolutely love this. And that's why I'm so excited that you're here because you have a heart of service and you're open to sharing this with my community. So I really want to thank you for this. I know that there's 5 steps, and I was asking if you could share this with us. For a person who knows nothing, how can we get into alignment to living our best life?
Right. Okay. So, like you said, there's many different things that you can do. There's, so many powerful techniques, and gratitude in itself is just so powerful, right? But how do we unwire and rewire? That's what it's really about. That's the key. See, because we're running off of this programming, the unconscious programming. We've been the same thoughts, the same emotions, same actions over and over 10, 20, 30, 40 years, depending on how old we are, right? Excuse me, these are programs that we are running off of, right? So we have to literally unwire, rewire, recode. Our DNA is encrypted information. And we now know through epigenetics, the science of epigenetics tells us we can change on a cellular level by changing our thoughts. you said about shifting, right? This is how people with multiple personality disorder shift in between identities and change physical traits about themselves. One could need glasses, one doesn't. One could need diabetic medication, one doesn't. How is that possible? They're changing on a cellular level because they change their thoughts, their emotions, they change their entire frequency, the information that they're sending out into the quantum field. Right? So there are 5 steps. And the very first one is we have to simply choose. What do you want? What do you want to create? You're a creator. We want to focus on creation, not the problem, right? Because where focus goes, energy flows. Quantum physics, we're energy, frequency, vibration. What we're putting out is what is mirrored back to us. Choose. So I choose the end result of, right? And with the magnetic mind method, there's 4 core choices. You mentioned living a life that you love, right? I choose the end result of living a life that I love. I choose the end result of living my true nature and purpose. Your true nature, you're a pure creative spirit connected to God, source, universe, whatever you choose to call it. And your purpose is to express that creativity in the most authentic way possible. You get to be you. You have gifts, experience, knowledge, wisdom that only you can give and serve to the world in such a way where you're going to impact and reach the people you are meant to, right? So you choose to live your true nature and purpose. You choose to live a life that you love. You choose health and vitality on all levels, mind, body, and spirit. And you choose to be the predominant creative force in your life. And that's probably the most difficult, I know personally for me and for a lot of people. That means that you understand you're creating your reality. It's me. It's me. It's not what happened to me. I'm not blaming. I'm not shaming. I'm not a victim. I'm a creator. And these
And I
five
just want
steps
to
are,
pause there, Andrea, because that is key. We need
mm-hmm,
to take responsibility for our life,
yep,
full responsibility, because if we take responsibility for all the stuff that did not go well, then that means that we then have the power to create
right,
and have the responsibility and have the power to create all the stuff that we do want. Like we're the creator of it. It
mm-hmm,
all begins and ends with us. And by having that radical acceptance, that gives us this God power to then shift and then choose another thought,
right,
a higher level belief, to
right.
then attract a higher level result, right?
Mhm.
It all begins and ends with us. So I really love that.
Right.
So, so important.
Yes, where we place our attention is where we place our energy. So, like I said, where focus goes, energy flows. Neville Goddard says in his book, Manifesting Miracles, the secret to manifesting miracles is to shift your attention, shift your focus, right? Stop feeding the monster. Are you feeding your faith or are you feeding your fear, right? Faith over fear, like my shirt says right now, right? So, choose. I choose the end result of. And again, being the predominant creative force, health and vitality, living a life that you love, and choose to live your true nature and purpose. The core 4 choices, the main ones.
And
Second,
Andrea,
go ahead.
oh, sorry. Before we go
It's
to
okay.
the second, um, when a person does have a thought that comes into their timeline
Mm-hmm.
that is not aligned to what they truly want, I always tell my students,
Mm-hmm.
my friends, my family, I'm like, that's natural, right? Like we're always receiving
Absolutely.
information,
Mm-hmm.
but we get to choose what we focus on through our choice of free will. Are we going to
Right.
become better? Or are we become bitter? Are we going to choose love or is it fear? Because everything else is a derivative of both.
Yep.
So when I personally find myself in this place of receiving a thought and I hold on to it and then I have this awareness of it, I'm like, no wonder I feel crappy. Like, look what I've been thinking about, right? I just have this conscious moment. I'm like, I just cancel and delete this. I cancel and delete and I shift and I pivot and I'm like, I choose to believe I'm blah, 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 blah. One, two, three. And then
Right.
I begin to focus on the solution rather than my problem. You know, I call it this 80-20 rule. I think it's
Yeah.
important when we are facing really hard challenges and things aren't going well, like it is important not to have toxic positivity and pretend we're okay all the time. Like we do need to release it. But then 20% of the time, release it, journal it, talk to a trusted friend, talk to your spouse, somebody that you know that it could be, it's going to uplift you, like
Right.
release it
Mhm.
but then spend 80% of the time talking about what is possible. What are the solutions?
Right.
What can I do? What do I have the power to do? If somebody's making me feel uncomfortable, what can I do to shift and align to people who do? And that sometimes that's even just, unfollowing people through social media and then
Yeah.
following somebody who is uplifting. Stop listening to the news and maybe listening to a positive podcast or a positive inspirational YouTube channel that's going to uplift you.
Right, right.
So this is like what
Yeah,
I personally feel is like tangible things to apply in a life. Like when you are receiving negativity, like how do you transform it, right? But what are
yeah.
your tips? Like if something really hard happens to you, what circumstances outside of your control, like what do you do to shift and up level that?
Yeah, well, it's the awareness of that is key, first and foremost, because we can't change that which we aren't aware of, but once we're aware, we cannot help but change. So when it is brought into our awareness, thank you. Gratitude, expressing gratitude, and having that growth mindset. Like, what is it trying to teach me? Not like, why is this happening to me? Understanding that if the same thing, it's going to keep happening over and over because, like Dr. Joe Dispenza says, we can't create a new future stuck in a familiar past. If our attention, our energy is on the past, we're going to stay stuck in these karmic loops, repeating the same thing over and over until we get the lesson. So, practicing self awareness, right? Like you said, becoming aware when you're feeling this way. Why am I feeling this way? What are my thoughts like right now?
Hmm.
What can I change? What can I do? Again, I always gratitude, the Matthew effect, right? Shifting love, appreciation, and gratitude just amplifies those blessings. Those who are grateful will be given in abundance, and those who are not, even what they have will be taken from them. We don't know what we have until it's gone, right?
Yeah.
So we keep focusing on the lack, we keep getting more lack. So shifting that focus, becoming more aware, and just little by little, 1% better every single day. Like you
Yeah.
said, journal it, write it out. We're not broken. We don't need to be fixed, right?
Yes.
These are programs. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. We're just unaware, right?
Yeah.
But now that you are aware, you're listening to this, right? So you choose it and
Yeah.
you get yourself into a creative structure.
And I always think it's all about just baby steps forward, and
Mm-hmm.
that it's so important not to compare your chapter one to somebody else's chapter 20, your day one to somebody who's done it for the last 10 years, because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we we paralyze in fear and like, what's the point? Because we fall into that place of imposter syndrome. Like, what's the
Yeah.
point of even trying if somebody else is already doing it? And I can tell you that's happened to me in my journey. I don't know about you, but when I first started out, I knew I was being called for a higher purpose. I've worked in the financial securities industry for the last 20 years,
Right.
loving my job, worked the stock markets, like amazing people. I thought I'd be doing this until I'm old and wrinkly,
Yeah.
And then until I didn't, until all of a sudden life shifted me and I saw my higher calling and that I meant to go into this pathway of healing and service and speaking and public speaking on stages. And we're like, oh my God, what do you mean? And I remember like I've just like, Gabby Bernstein's always been my person. We all have like this one mentor and Gabby's been it for me. And I remember just crying one day. I'm like, why do you keep coming to me? Go find Gabby. She can help you.
Yeah.
She already has people who love her and follow her, and she's great at speaking. You're gonna love her. And it was really interesting because like at that place, I felt so frozen in my path. And what I kept hearing is that we're not calling you to be Gabby, we're calling you to be Stephanie. And if not now, when? Not you, who? And all I was being asked was to trust and use my own free will to take one tiny baby step forward at a time. And that's why I love you, what you just said is that place of 1% progression. We're not meant to know it all, figure it all out. We're unhealed and we're just trying our best in this great big world to do what we know in the darkness, really. But as long as we take that one step, it's like a light activates in front of us and a pathway is made clear. And we just have a little bit more clarity and a little bit more desire to keep pushing forward,
And then when we have the courage to share that, we can inspire and empower others and lead the
Yes.
way for real and lasting change. Gabby Bernstein talks about the shift, and
Yeah.
people have been talking about this shift in consciousness. People waking up, we're taking our power back, moving from fear to love. Love is our true
Yes.
divine spiritual nature. It's what we actually are, pure unconditional love and light. And we've just fallen into this illusion of fear. So we have this mass awakening happening, right? So you wake up, what do I want? What do I want to create? I choose it. You feel into it because feeling is the secret, right? So this is like the
Exactly.
second step. You're going to use your imagination and feel into
Yes.
it,
So let's
right?
talk about that second step. Number
Yep.
two, talk to us.
So well, Albert Einstein said imagination is everything. It's a preview of life's coming attractions, right? And your mind is a magnet. So naturally, your reticular activating system, it's this portion in your brain, it actually wants to draw these things to you. So the more you prime your mind with like affirmations, and I like to use my miracle action plan. 8 steps I created that I wrote out my vision for my life, what I want now, all aspects, financial, relationships, business, family, all the things, right? And you read that to yourself over and over again. Some people say affirmations don't work. They do work, but you've been telling yourself the same thoughts for how long? You have to overcome those and keep telling. When you hear I'm not worthy, you have to say I am worthy. Not today, Satan, get behind me. Whatever you believe in faith, there we all go through these same things. The devil, Satan, darkness, whatever you choose to call it, right? We hear these little voices, the angel and the devil on our shoulders telling us the light and dark. It's duality. But we, like you said, we get to choose. And so we can choose love, right? So we feel into what we want. We use our imagination because this is where the epigenetics comes in, changing our thoughts and stepping into a new reality now in the present moment and feeling into it starts to restructure our cells. It restructures our cells.
Yeah.
All right. So we're getting into that emotion of the end results and imagining it. It's actually 2 and 3. Okay.
Mhm.
Imagining
Mhm.
it, getting into the emotion of the end result. Then we want to unplug and recode. And so how we do this is we're creating a structure, the gap from where we are to where we want to be. When we feel into the end results of what we want, and then we ask ourselves, well, I want that, but I can't have it because this creates a structure, 2 points. Why can't I have it? And all this stuff starts to come up. It's like triggering a mini dark night of the soul. I want to live a life that I love, but I can't because I don't have the time. I don't have the money. I'm not enough. I'm not worthy. I'm not capable. I'm insignificant. I don't belong. I'm not perfect. Look at the world. It's a mess. This person, you don't know what I've been through, right? Like all the
Yeah.
stuff starts to come up. Good. Bring it into your awareness. Then it's in the field. It's all there anyway. It's in this quantum field, this energetic field that holds all information throughout all time and space, the Akashic records. It's there. So we're just bringing it up. And then we can do this recode, which really, we all have this divine innate wisdom and intelligence within us. Our superconscious mind, which is outside of our ego and our unconscious or subconscious mind, knows how to rewire and reprogram itself. It's intelligence. It's a divine innate wisdom and intelligence. Your mind has the power to heal your body, the placebo effect, right? And
Yeah.
so the recode process, basically, you're sending words and frequency vibration out into the field all the time. I always say your thoughts are prayers, the words that you speak are prayers, the feelings that you feel are prayers. They're all frequencies of information that is
Mhm.
mirrored and reflected back to us. So now that all this stuff came up, I walk you through the process. It's more comfortable and more enjoyable that way, but you can do it yourself as well. You can learn how to do it. And that's really my goal to, create super conscious creators and leaders that are going to go out and create change in the world. And hey, super conscious, I know I've been sending you this information. I've been feeling like I'm not worthy, but that's out of alignment with this end result. Can you please go in there and do what needs to be done? Pretty much, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah,
Absolutely.
sure. I've been here. I want to give you what you want. Just tell me what, and let's do this. Let's work together, right?
Yes.
And then your
Yes.
super conscious memory actually sends the information to your subconscious. And what's impressed on your subconscious must express in reality. So it's basically going straight to the source to reprogram the subconscious. We talk about reprogramming the subconscious, NLP and all those things, but we're actually going a step outside the superconscious memory. Again, all information, all memory from your soul's inception until now is there.
Yeah.
And you're just going in and recoding it.
So for our viewers, let's put this into perspective. And I'll share an
Mm-hmm.
example with me, and maybe you can share an example with you. But when it comes to imagination, just as you talked about, this is the part where all things are possible. And a lot of the times, divinity will drop hints and clues and sparks of intelligence where suddenly we'll see things, a spark of vision. Not everyone has this. Sometimes they'll receive maybe a very specific feeling, or they'll hear something really internal that's guiding them away. But I know for myself, I've been receiving sparks of vision. Um, we put labels on everything. Some people call this clairvoyance, but the truth
Yeah.
is, all of us have gifts, and this is just part of
Right.
our higher nature, right? And the more we lean into it, the more it expands and grows. And it's for the higher purpose of leading us to our North Star, our pathway, our future, our destiny, what's meant for us. And I know for myself, about 10 years ago, I was fixing my bed. Okay. I was just making my bed, getting ready for the morning. I had no children at this time. I guess it'll be more than 10 years ago. But here I'm making the bed, and all of a sudden I just got this spark of vision of me standing on stage like
Hmm.
this, a grand stage full of bajillions of people. And I'm happy and I'm confident. And here I'm standing like this. I'm like literally living my best life. I could feel it, I could see it. And I immediately threw it out. I'm like, that's really weird. Like, I work at a bank. Like, this is my job. Like, I don't know why I keep feeling this, but it kept coming back to me at the random times. You know, when you're in that daydreaming state.
Yeah.
And what I've learned is that when you're in that daydreaming state, you're in between this world and the next world. You're kind of in between. And that's when your mind is actually clear of for them to share vision.
Hmm.
So, fast forward 10, 11, 12 years later, here I am embarking on this journey
Yeah.
as a speaker. And all of that, the vision was the end result,
Hmm.
but it sparked something in me that I couldn't leave. And that's always God's dream for you. That's the universe always bringing it back as a reminder. You try to push it away, but it comes back, and that's how you know what's meant for you.
Yeah.
And I know that that's my future, but one of the things I think is so important and that I teach is that we can choose to bring that timeline in the future into our life right now.
Right.
And that's by becoming her now, acting like her, talking like her, making decisions like her. And we can do that in different ways. And I'd love to hear your thoughts about this. But, one of the things that I do is, I buy something, and that's the future me that I'm bringing to my life right now. And last year, when I was creating this course that I was being called from a higher place to make, I kept having these visions again of me being in the future and wearing this beautiful dress. So I went to go buy that dress and bought it. And I brought that future version of me into my timeline now. And then I kept planting seeds. I'm like, I'm not going to talk about who I am today, but I'm going to talk about my future self, the future Steph, the Steph 2.0. So when people ask me, I'm like, who are you? It's not like Steph works at the bank. I'm like, oh, I'm Steph. I'm a quantum manifestation coach. I'm a divine healer. And I'm talking about my present moment right now. And I keep planting seeds. I'm like, I want to be a speaker. So I'm going to talk to everybody about being a speaker. And I'm going to invite myself to people's podcasts and you know what I mean? Just dropping little hints. So that's how I found we could have the power to bring that future version of us into her life today by becoming her, by becoming him, and we can choose that. And the more we lean into that and the more we feel it, then suddenly, this whole acting as if we become it, and exactly what you were saying, it's like you rewire your brain to think from a higher elevated perspective. And by choosing from that way, you're bringing higher level results to you faster.
Right. Yeah. You have to be it to see it. You're shifting your identity. And so what you
Mhm.
think, feel, and do every single day is your personality. I think you were talking earlier about somebody feeling some way and they were like holding on to that, right? You hold on to that for so long, it becomes a mood, it becomes a temperament, and it becomes your personality, right?
Yeah.
And your personality creates your personal reality. So to change your personal reality, we have to change our personality. You have to be it to see it. Like you said, what would that version of me be like? Instead of waiting for the thing to make you happy now, feeling happy now, for focusing on
Yes.
again, gratitude, the Matthew effect, shifting your focus, your attention to something that is in your reality now that makes you feel good. Whether you said maybe put a music or a movie, what do you like to do, right? What would that version of yourself be doing, be thinking, and more
Mhm.
doing the inner work to
Mhm.
reprogram? Because of course we have all this resistance that comes up. Well, that's not who you are. What we place after I am, we become, right? But our words are creating our future. So if we've been speaking and thinking these same things over and over for all these years, right? Like I said, we just have to consistently grow our awareness and continue to replace our current and limiting beliefs and programs,
Mhm.
thoughts, feelings, emotions with new ones, and stepping into that end result and using like this process every day is really powerful. Visualization is really
Yeah.
powerful,
Mhm.
right? Stepping into and feeling the emotion of the end result is really something that you want to be doing like every day, even just for a few minutes, right? This process doesn't take very long either. So, yeah,
Yeah. Have you had sparks of vision for yourself in your own life, Andrea?
a vision like
Yeah,
actual,
sparks of vision that come to you about your imagination of where it's leading to you, like God-sized dreams that you're like, I don't know how this is going to happen, but I'm just going to go for it. Have you ever had this,
yeah.
where you've really had to take this leap of faith and step outside of everything you know yourself to be?
I mean, who I am today, I would never would have imagined like holy shift. Like, wow, I'm an international Amazon bestselling author. I've been featured in podcasts and magazines and like all the things.
Yeah.
I've I have this vision for my life and I keep moving towards it, and I've been watching it magically unfold. It's very
Yeah.
like it is surreal, but this is
Hmm.
our true power and potential. We get to choose who we become. It's just, who do you want to be? Right?
Yeah.
Without limitation, choosing from that quantum field of limitless potential and infinite possibilities. But
Hmm.
we're just, like I said earlier, in these systems where we have limitations. We go through this individuation process. We're born a pure creative spirit, the human journey, or the hero's journey. You're born a pure creative spirit, but depending where you're born, your culture, civilization, societal beliefs, family beliefs, religious beliefs, we get all these things dumped on us, and then throw in, trauma, family things going on, and all the things, right? And not to
Hmm.
mention generational trauma passed down in our DNA. We're already, sometimes born with a lot of baggage, right? So,
Hmm.
but at some point we start to realize, hey, I'm not my past, I'm not my mom, or I'm not, I'm not this. I am who I choose to become. And
Yeah.
that's when you start doing this inner work. And yes, it can take long, and it can take a lot of energy. Joe Dispenza says it takes an enormous amount of energy. It does, not gonna lie, to shift your identity.
Hmm.
That's why if it was change was easy, a lot of people would do it, right? That's what they always say. um
So true.
but it's possible. It's
Yeah.
possible.
The fastest way to do, in my opinion, is that shift is healing our perspective. And healing comes from this place of forgiveness. Anything we have guilt about in our life is a call of healing that our soul is looking to overcome. I truly believe. And, sometimes, we look at our life, our childhood, the place that we started out to be. And what I've learned from divinity is that we've chosen it all. Like we chose to be there. So our parents, our siblings, the enemies in our life, the friends, like we're all characters in each other's life.
Oh, yeah.
And in a human perspective, we're all really just trying our best the
Mhm.
way we know how with what we've been taught. And a person
Right.
who has love in their heart is incapable of purposely inflicting pain on another person. Just as
Mhm.
a person who truly loves dogs would never hurt a dog, but a person who really hates dogs, it'd be very easy for them to hurt a dog. And it's just from this place of knowing that all of the people in our life, the toxic relationships, perhaps toxic parents, anything that's trying to weigh us down, perhaps they're just doing with what they were taught to. And
Absolutely.
our power is that that can end with us. It doesn't have to bleed into the next generation.
Right.
And I saw this really powerful social media example, and there's 4 cups. Okay. It was mud. The first cup, that was your grandmother. That poured mud into the second cup,
Mm.
which is your mother. And that mud was being poured into your cup, which is you. But through free will in this present moment, you're like, no, 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 we're not ending there. So as this mud is being poured in, there's another cup, a pitcher of water that's starting to dilute it until that mud completely flows out. And then it's
Right.
just pure, beautiful water, a healed
Yeah.
soul, a healed perspective, a healed vision. And
Mhm.
then that water, you are now being poured into your daughter. And
Mhm.
that daughter is receiving beautiful, clear crystal water. And that's her
Yeah.
new timeline. That's her reality. And because of you, you have the power to shift and change that, which is so amazing. It
Absolutely.
just shows what our power is, right?
I always say, they say it runs in the family. I say this is where it runs out. We have the
Yeah.
power to break generational curses and soul ties and soul agreements. And I do all this in the recode as well. And there's a quote, I forget who this quote is by, but they say the way to create a new reality is to make the old reality obsolete. But how do we do that? The water concept, pouring in the
Yeah.
new. Socrates said the secret to change isn't to focus your energy on fighting the old, but on creating the new. Keep
Hmm.
pouring in the new, and
Yeah.
eventually it's just gonna, the old is just
Yeah.
gonna fade away. And
Exactly.
that's
Exactly.
we're in the end stages of a paradigm shift right now. We're in the revolutionary period. And so the age of Aquarius, the new information, the water bearer, pour in all this new information coming down, and the new information eventually it's gonna get to everybody.
Yeah.
And there's this mass awakening that is taking place, and it's a beautiful time to be alive and to help shift the consciousness of humanity into this new earth. And it's very surreal, like I said. Holy shift. Holy shift.
Holy shift. It's
Yeah.
so true. I absolutely love that. All right. So, what is step 5 for us, Andrea?
Yeah. So the fifth and final step in conscious creation is to take the aligned action. You go out and you take the aligned, divine inspired action. You mentioned 80-20, like the 80-20 principle, that the way I know it is like 20% of your effort should equal 80% of your results. You want to be the magnet. So you're creating that structure of where you are, where you want to be. You're bringing everything up, you're recoding it. This is
Mhm.
making you the magnet to be pulled towards it. It's like a rubber band. If you think of a rubber band, when you stretch it out, uh, tension always seeks resolution. It wants to naturally come together. The rubber band wants to pull together. But think of our resistance and our limiting beliefs as little knots in the rubber band. So we're untying those in the recode process. And then naturally we take the aligned action and it just comes together easily and effortlessly.
It's amazing. And
Yeah.
because we're co-creators with the universe, the origin of God lives in all of us. But our power We work
Yeah.
with the universe, but it's like a dance, right? We're always required to take that first step, that aligned action, that baby step, the tiny baby step.
Yeah.
Even
Yes.
if that baby step means that you're finally getting out of bed for the first time and since forever, that's a baby step to go and take a shower and to just shift your energy. Like that's something to congratulate yourself because when you do that, the
Yeah.
universe will align that next step for you. And
Right.
you'll feel a nudge, a pull, something magnetizing you to take that next step. And
Hmm.
that's how we dance within this universe, you know? And yes,
Right.
hard times are going to fall on all of us, but through free will, we get to choose. Are we going to cry in the storm or are we going to shift up level and learn how to dance in the rain? Like that is
Yeah.
how we get to see life in this
Yeah.
perspective.
Absolutely. That's the beauty of life. Yep.
Amazing. I love those five codes. So let's talk about them. Just list them out for us again in case anybody missed them. Number one.
So we want to choose the true goal first and
Okay.
foremost. Choose it. We want to create the structural tension. So that's we're going to decide what we want and feel into it using our imagination. Then
Mm-hmm.
we're going to imagine. Third step is feel. Get into the emotion of the end result. So you're imagining it, you're visualizing it, you feel into it. Then you want to unplug and recode. So the unplugging is asking yourself, okay, this is what I want, and I can't have it because why? And then all the resistance comes up. You do the recode, and then the fifth and final step, taking the aligned action.
I love that. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I
It's a
love
beautiful
that.
process.
And I know that you are the queen of recodes.
Yeah,
So, would you give our community the opportunity to do a quantum recode for us today?
I would absolutely love to do it. Yes. So I'll jump right into it. And so, but first, what I
Okay.
really want to do is just take a few conscious breaths.
Okay. Should we have our eyes closed, Andrea?
Yeah, we can close our eyes. We'll close our eyes then. I always like to close my eyes. I like to place my hands on my heart and bring awareness to my heart space and kind of just
Okay.
drop into there. And we want to choose. I choose the end result. So, for the purpose of this exercise, let's just choose to live a life that we love. Okay.
Perfect.
All right. So I choose the end results of living a life that I love. And we want to step into 2 and 3 and imagine and feel it. So, in this end result, what would you be doing? What would that look like for you to truly live a life that you love? Now, I'm going to walk you through it a little bit, but this is why I really love my miracle action plan, because my miracle action plan, you get really clear on what does that mean to you, right? First and foremost, you got to get clear on that vision. So I choose to live a life that I love, and I have happy, healthy, loving, thriving relationships. I'm loved and respected and appreciated for who I am. I attract powerful people into my life and business. I'm surrounded by people who inspire, empower, and uplift me, and I inspire, empower, and uplift those around me. When it comes to money and finances, I have zero worries. I'm completely taken care of, above and beyond. Abundance is flowing effortlessly. I attract everything with ease, grace, and flow. I have multiple sources of income. I choose to live a life that I love. I have 7-figure elf businesses. They're easy, they're lucrative, and they're fun. I love what I do. I share value with those I love and care about, and I'm given back in abundance. I have more than enough to go around, help others, and have a massive impact. I am transforming lives and shifting the consciousness of humanity. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am thriving. I am. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My kids are amazing, well mannered, well behaved, and respectful. They love to learn. They get along so well, and they keep things neat, clean, and organized. You're in this end result. This is a life that you love. So, what are you doing? Who are you with? What type of house are you living in? I'm living in my dream home, driving my dream vehicle. I get to travel, speak on stage. I'm an author. What things are you creating, and what ways are you sharing your knowledge and your wisdom, your experience with the world, doing what you love? I get to do what I want, when I want. I spend time doing what I love with the people that I love the most. I live my ideal day every single day. I have complete time and financial freedom. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm growing every day, and every day in every way, things are getting better and better and better. I'm connected to source. I'm connected to love. I'm taking quantum leaps in my life, and I'm helping others do the same. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I choose to live a life that I love. I am happy. I am healthy. I am joyful. I am peaceful. What things? Imagining yourself. How do you wake up? What type of food are you eating? I eat good, organic, non-GMO food. I stretch and I meditate and I journal. I exercise. I get out in nature to ground in the sunshine. I take care of my mind, body, and spirit. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And now ask yourself, compared to that, where am I now? So I choose to live a life that I love, but I can't because why? Can't live a life that I love because you don't know what I've been through. And this person in my life, I don't have the time. I don't have the money. I don't have the resources. Other people can do it, but I can't. They must have something that I don't. It's too hard. It takes too long. I choose to live a life that I love, but sure, I want these things, but I can't have them. It's too far off in my future. It takes too long. I don't have what it takes. I'm not enough. I'm not worthy. I'm insignificant. I don't belong. I'm not perfect, and I'm not capable. And how does that make you feel? Bring up those feelings too. That makes me frustrated, sad, hurt. I feel, allow it to come up. I choose to live a life that I love, but I can't. All this stuff in the way. And I feel horrible about it. I feel worthless. I feel powerless. It feels out of my control. And then rate that resistance on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 is the most. You're swimming through peanut butter. You're completely stuck. You're not taking any action to create any type of change. You don't know what to do, right? What is that resistance on a scale of 1 to 10? And then I just need your permission for integrity purposes. I give Andrea permission to connect with my energetic field, with my superconscious level of memory. And the intention is to just help you shift everything internally as needed, to release the resistance, to help you use alchemy to transmute your pain, turn it into power and purpose, to take your knowledge or take your experience and your lessons and turn it into knowledge and wisdom so you can move forward. So I give Andrea permission, and I'll refer to the field as superconscious, God or source or universe, divine, infinite intelligence. Like there's something here. It's obvious that everything around us is divine creation, beautiful creation. We understand that you are infinite and eternal, that spirit, that energy, God, source is infinite and eternal and all knowing, all powerful, omnipresent, omnipotent. And all this information is in the field. And as our awareness is expanding and we're stepping more and more into this, we realize more of our power. And we'd really love to rewire, recode, recalibrate, and restructure everything internally as needed. Please tag and treat all beliefs, specifically the 6 self-sabotaging beliefs. I'm not worthy, I'm not enough, I'm not capable, I'm insignificant, I don't belong, and I'm not perfect. Let's realign those with love and truth. Love is the only truth. Everything else is an illusion. Fear is an illusion. False evidence appearing real. I am worthy. I am enough. I am capable. I am significant. I belong. And I'm perfect just as I am because I am. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And just remember to breathe and release. Please tag and treat The emotions of fear, anger, guilt, frustration, bitterness, resentment, unforgiveness, confusion, worry, shame, all lower frequencies and vibrations, shifting us into higher frequencies, higher vibrations, the highest vibration possible that we can maintain and sustain at this time. We'd really love to quantum leap to the highest timeline available to us for the greatest good of ourselves and for all of humanity. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And it is completely safe to move forward and absolutely necessary. Please tag and treat any secondary intentions, anything trying to pull us back and keep us safe. It's completely safe and necessary to move forward into this end result for the greater good of all. Please tag and treat all identities to bring all identities into alignment with this end result and this true choice. So please tag and treat the people pleaser, the controlling aspect of self, the doubter, the traumatized aspect of self, the wounded inner child, all aspects of consciousness and identities that are playing small, keep pulling us back into our comfort zone. Please integrate all identities into one mono personality moving forward. Mono personality works best. One powerful personality identity moving forward in this end result with clear vision, focus, and intention. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please tag and treat the chakras, clear and cleanse on all levels. Tag and treat DNA, activate divine light codes within our DNA to align with this new infinite 5D paradigm for Earth, heaven on earth, our highest timeline available to us at this time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's clear and cleanse the chakras, moving everything out, dense, dark, negative energies, anything that's stuck, trapped, moving it out into the earth to be transmuted and alchemized. Tag and treat family history, past lives, past generations, cut all soul ties, soul contracts, break any soul agreements, generational curses, anything that is no longer in alignment with this true choice. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Break down all old neurological pathways, programs, shift everything internally, refire, rewire, recalibrate, restructure as we integrate these new beliefs, new thoughts, the new emotions of I am powerful. I'm a powerful creator and I get to choose what I create. I am worthy and deserving of it all. I love life. I love me. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I forgives me. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I forgives me. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I forgives me. We want to ground all memories, 1, 2, and 3, the ego, the unconscious, and the superconscious memory, back here into this 3D reality matrix here on this place we call Earth, which is a ground for spiritual growth and soul evolution. Thank you, thank you, thank you for this process. Just continue to breathe and release all the resistance. And you can come back when you're ready. And you should notice that you feel light. I was teary-eyed too. You release, right? You
Diane's
feel a lot
teary-eyed, but I'm like, I
more.
feel it here.
Yeah. My whole body is like tingling right now.
It's like pins and needles, and it
Mhm.
just like that was amazing.
Thank you.
And
Yeah. So
go ahead.
release it. It's about letting that go. We're not broken. We don't need to be fixed. We can rewire, we can
Yes.
recode, we can do this simple process, few minutes. Now we go out, we take the aligned action, and we are the magnet, and we draw that end result to us. It's the way it's meant to be. We're not meant to
Yes,
struggle and suffer.
exactly. And I'll tell you what came up for me because I really believe whatever comes up to you, especially when you're in this neutral frequency, whatever is coming to you is an opportunity to heal. And this place of healing for me, first of all, came up with a spark of victim mentality. I'm like so busy. I have like no time, but yet I want to work out to find this inner strength and get to my 2.0 version of Steph, and like that future calling in. But I have no time to work out. When am I ever going to do this? This is like that inner ploy. I try. I generally don't enjoy it, but I need to. I know I need this is something that's good for my highest self and evolution, right? So that
Right.
came out, and then I was slowly acknowledging it and thanking for bringing it to my awareness. And it was just like something just came up. I'm like, you know, I have so much time. I make time for things that are important, and I choose me and taking priority for myself. And everything is possible. And I can even take 10 minutes for myself every day.
Yeah.
And I was just like, it was this acceptance and it was so beautiful. And I was like, I'm just gonna shift that. Oh my gosh, I don't have time to. I actually do have time and I make time for what's a priority. And I love seeing how all this time presents itself during the day. And I can
Yeah.
make time for me, and that's okay.
Yeah.
It's because it's that guilt, especially as a mom, you know how it is. Everyone needs everything, and then you have to like add in everything else, but the world demands of you too. But it's like,
Yeah.
hey, maybe I'm important. I can be on the top of that totem pole, and it's not
I
selfish.
always I always say three things, little things that you can do every day, but start with yourself first and foremost. It's Saturday, self-care Saturday and Sunday, I say. Self-care is not selfish. We don't take care of ourselves. We're going to be angry parents, walking around frustrated. We're going to be bitter, right? No, we have to take care of ourselves. Do something for yourself. Family, business. Three small, like do something for yourself first, do something for your family, and then take a little action, aligned action with your business every single day. And these small, consistent steps compound into massive momentum and results over time. You talked about planting seeds. The day you plant the seed isn't the day you eat the fruit. You got to keep cultivating the garden. You got to keep recoding, reprogramming, rewiring, whatever method you choose. Be consistent and follow, like you said, that internal guidance. Keep taking those steps.
It's funny, as we're talking, I've had this invitation to invite you on my show again for another topic called the 5D Mom.
Oh, that's
And I'm
right.
like, I know we're both there, and we look at it in different perspectives. And there's no right or wrong, good or bad. Like, we all have a different approach, but it's the energy of being a
Right.
5D mom and how we raise our children into this 5D world. So perhaps I can invite you to another episode because I would love to have this conversation with you and how we raise our children in
Yeah.
this frequency as we all ascend into this next level. What do you think? Are you in?
I think that would be amazing. Yeah, I'm rebranding myself recently as the magnetic mompreneur. I don't know if we really mentioned that, but I'm like, hey, I'm a magnetic mind coach. I'm a mompreneur, magnetic mompreneur. Like it's
Absolutely.
perfect. And yeah, it's a big part of it. There's so many moms who aspire to homeschool, to create an online business, to create more
Mhm,
freedom, and
mhm.
they have all these, the bag, not they, we, all of us, we have this
Yes,
baggage, these things. We're all in this together. Together
we
we
are.
rise, right? We're
Absolutely.
all works in progress. And so coming
Absolutely.
together too makes us more powerful.
Exactly. And I think by sharing our story, everyone sees a little piece of themselves in each of us because we are all one,
Yeah.
right?
We're just
It just,
reflections of each other.
we really are. It really are. But listen, I want to thank you with all of my heart for being on this episode today with us, Andrea. Thank you for sharing your knowledge, your wisdom, the recodes. And if somebody would like the opportunity to be in touch with you, to learn more, or to have access to your 8 principles of the
Magnetic mind method.
yes, I don't want to chop that up, but how can they be in touch with you?
The best way to reach me is on social media, on Facebook.
Okay.
So you can go on there, you can check out my stuff, you can message me. You can check out my link tree. There's a link on the top that has more information. You can go in there and get your free miracle action plan if you
Oh,
want to do that.
fantastic.
Yep, that's in
Amazing.
there. So if you want to check that out, my Facebook is hands down probably the best way to reach me.
Amazing. So I'm going to include the link on
Okay.
all of our portals of this podcast on audio and through YouTube. And if anyone's interested in connecting with you, I really highly recommend it. I absolutely love you and all of the principles that you're teaching, and highly recommend that they connect for sure. So
Thank
thank
you.
you all. From my heart to yours, namaste. Wishing you a beautiful day ahead.
Namaste.
All my love to you.
Thank you for listening to today's podcast. If you are ready to heal your deepest wounds and manifest your greatest life, I welcome you to explore the blueprint to your $1 million life, a divinely channeled program that is creating miracles for people all over the world. Visit www.stephmahony.com.